That's right. It's another late night, which means it's time for another reach into the Just Giggle It grab bag. And tonight we're pulling out, ooh, party game. Someone grab the Jaeger and the whiskey because it's time for Never Have I Ever Just Giggle It sketch number 13. Written, directed, and edited, you guessed it, by Joshua Thomas.
That's right. Never have I ever laughed so hard at an early JGI sketch, Dragon, because this is no, that's just an exaggeration. It's a really good one, don't get me wrong. I just really wanted to have a lead in with Never Have I Ever. So but by all intents and purposes, what?
Tiki, you got an audio thing right now.
Are you kidding me?
I mean, it's not. I'm just saying. I don't know what you did just now, but like literally as we started, something's.
I ain't good. Just set up the sketch. I don't know. Yeah.
Anyway, so yes, Never Have I Ever. Of course, is basically kind of the cell line for this one is it's game night and can be quite revealing. We can kind of see some. This one was chosen particularly because it features Piper Hinson. Features Piper Hinson as it tends to do, and you know we're kind of, as you folks know, we only have 10 sketches left, roughly 10 sketches left. Before we're pulling that, we got to get
the final 10, the final countdown.
Yes, the final countdown. Now you're all good. Yeah, the final countdown has begun.
The final countdown.
But yeah, so we thought we'd kick off the countdown with Piper Hinson for no other particular reasons than that. I mean, it's not like we're planning anything huge coming up or anything like it's been coveted, you know, for a next installment perhaps that we might be alluding to.
Dragon, I hate to say it, but if they've read the video description, they already know what you're alluding to.
I know, I'm well aware of that, but
okay.
We're all in the know. We're all being a little tongue in cheek right now. I mean, you were.
I'm just like, oh man, I don't want to. No, I'm just like, I don't want to ruin your fun, buddy. Oh boy. Anyways, no, yeah. Should we announce that at the end of the podcast, Dragon? Formally announce it?
Well, I guess we should. I mean, they already kind of know it already, but yeah, let's wait till the end. The
formal announcement at the end of the podcast regarding Piper Hinson. Everyone, going to be big. Stick around for it. But Dragon, I mean, really, this isn't like, I wouldn't call this a classic JGI sketch, but honestly, I really think this is a nice sort of like a pull. It really is. It's a. I didn't really know what I was getting into. It was short. It was sweet. It was to the point. It was a beautiful kind of like rule of threes, you know, like kind of like, okay, there's 3 parts to it. It ends on a really funny punchline, and you're in, you're out, you're good to go. You get a couple laughs. You get a great drunken Piper Hinson performance along the way, and I was very satisfied with this one, Dragon.
Absolutely. Definitely one could say there's some seeds of Party Addison in the infancy of JGI with one could make the point.
Perhaps. It's like, oh man, this Piper Hinson is really good at drunk acting.
You give Foster Brooks a run for his money. All right. So that said, this one's going to go by like that. We're going to probably bask in a little bit. So let's see. Let's just start.
This is going to be a marathon, Dragon. Really, if we wanted to, we could make this like a 10-minute podcast.
We could if we were under.
That's honestly like, I'm kind of like praising the sketch, because honestly, I feel like the sketch is really economic. Honestly, Dragon, I feel like you could tell this sketch is like a punchline joke. You really could. You could just set up like, okay, 3 friends are playing a game of Never Have I Ever. It's 2 couples. One couple asks each other this. They drink. You know, then they ask each other this. They drink. And then, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's just like, it's got that kind of like punchline set up to it. It's very simple to explain. I feel like it's going to go by like that. But like you said, we're going to bask in it, man. We're going to bask in it.
All right. So we start
bask in the Hinson goodness.
Sure.
Right.
Okay, anyway, so we start off, we have 4 friends, you know, kind of in the middle of a couple's night, you know, kind of a couple's night of debauchery and all such, you know, kind of ends on kind of a drinking game here. It's like you're just kind of hanging out, getting ready to do a drink game, probably suggested by both Chad and David, the suitors of the evening.
By the way, I just want to point out, Dragon, I just want to formally point out, Chad!
Yep, yet another in the string of Chads. However, this Chad's a much nicer guy than the usual Chad. This is not the ex-boyfriend Chad or like the villain
Well, he's the soon-to-be ex-boyfriend, Chad.
That is true. But again, a nice Chad, though.
Yeah.
So rarely in life do we have nice guys named Chad, or seemingly nice guys named Chad. I don't know him that well.
Anyway. Would you like to tell us the, just for continuity's sake, would you like to tell us about the first Chad, the most well-known Chad, who was actually a subject of our very first grab bag?
Okay,
so the Chad gag has been kind of like going on throughout the JGI grab bag history.
Of course, the first JGI grab bag that we did, it was kind of a twofer. You had Pretty Flowers, which is another great Piper Hinson performance.
Pretty Flowers for a pretty lady.
Mm-hmm. And we had our parody sketch, which was the Pokemon parody, which is basically Ash going on a date, and essentially the date gets crashed by his blind date's ex-boyfriend, whose name is Chad. And Joshua Thomas's Ash Ketchum just really delivers it the whole way. Yeah, Chad.
She told you to leave,
Chad. Oh God, yes, just
good times.
Anyway, so Chad and David, they suggest the age-old drinking game, Never Have I Ever. So it's also a little bit of continuity and kind of the formulation of JGI here in the early season, if you will, because we have this. I believe it's this. Then a few episodes down the line, you get the game night one, but they're doing charades and everything. That one. So again, there's definitely kind of there are actually some seeds of future JGI sketches that come in this, because again, there's a little.
Well, what about Troubling Dilemma as well?
Okay, you're right. That one's technically you're right. It's the first one.
No, but you're right. The charades one as well is it all kind of forms like a little bit of a theme, between some of these.
As I'm saying, there's that's the really interesting thing looking back on this one. It kind of caught me by surprise in the rewatch. There are a lot of seeds of future JGI sketches within this, and that you have this, you have the charades, you got little seeds of party ass, and there's some stuff later on we'll get into. It's really fun. I mean, okay, I'll get into a little bit now. It's kind of interesting. The way this is staged, you have like the four friends all sitting on the floor around a table, essentially getting drunk. Very similar to the premise and starting shot of the Mad Men parody, which Piper Hinson directed. I wonder if Piper Hinson, having such a good time on this sketch and this premise, perhaps, I don't know, I think she filed it away for what, I want to do something like this again. Like literally, everyone's sitting on the floor around a table, they're kind of drunk as skunks. I'll do something there. What's the theme of the Mad Men? Let's jazz it up a little bit. Anyway, Christina Hendricks aside here, let's get back into it.
All right.
Okay, so point is we have so of course the Shadow Matt here, Chad, Kerry Farrow, the fourth, and David, played by the great Sagar Shake.
Okay, yeah, Sagar, of course. So great supporting cast here. A couple very familiar faces and a couple oldies but goodies, kind of like old school players in the JGI universe.
Like the great Mal Smith. I mean, my God, Mal Smith, the director, of course, the big claim to fame. When I think of Mal Smith, I always think of the things she directed. I always think of One Night Stand. That still is excellent direction. I still don't agree with the ending of that sketch, but still, it's well made.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Mal Smith, she's playing the other girl in this. Anyway, so let's see. So Mal Smith remarks, "Oh, it's a good idea for couples night, boys. Getting us all drunk.
Just get us all drunk, boys. Oh boy, guys will be guys. Am I right?"
Yep, so then we have this course leads to a schlockered Piper Hinson. Again, proto party Addison, as you might be able to frame it as well. No, but seriously, Piper Hinson plays just schlocker really hysterically here, and just basically.
Can I do it?
Go on, do it.
You guys better call a cab right now, because you're gonna get so smashed you won't be able to drive home.
So, of course, the gag here being the drunk is just oblivious to how smashed she truly is. And what's so great about
we're starting out, someone is clearly at a disadvantage in this drinking game.
And kind of the target of, if we can target our questions to get one loser.
Knock her off early.
Yep. So of course, what I really love about what Piper Hinson's doing in this whole sketch is the body language within the drunk acting. It's less the whole like just kind of playing the drunk, which she's doing well. I'm saying like the way she communicates it visually and with the body language and everything is just perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I love that she's clinging to Chad. It's like
Chad.
and I love my favorite thing is like as you can see in the image here. She's such a happy camper. She's such a peaceful drunk. She's like so.
She's really vibing. Yeah.
Yeah, and I love like the half closed eyes. It's like she's teetering on sleep practically. It's like she's like one.
Oh God!
It feels like she's like one drink away from passing out. That's essentially what it is. And again, what's really great about this rewatch is that there's a really great, of course, the credit to Joshua Thomas here again with kind of the directing, writing, editing of it all here. I love that there's a full circle of structure to our joke here. Where we have Chad of all people suggesting the game, which is going to bite him in the end.
Mm-hmm.
Chad and Piper Hinson in the sketch, they're a couple. Everything's all copacetic. The game's beginning, of course, all that's going to completely inverse on itself by the end of the whole sketch. So more on that later. Okay, so David goes first. Good old Sagar goes first, and of course they all hold the name of the game. You hold 3 fingers up, and basically if you have done something, then basically move the finger down, and you take a drink. So it's anyway. Oh, I bring this up because I saw a twisted version of this game in one of the Telltale Batman games. In the second one, the one with the Joker, it was Batman Enemy Within. There's basically this sadistic drinking game that the Joker and everyone has, or basically if instead of drinking, if you've done something essentially that wronged the Joker, you move a finger down. If you don't, you're going to get your finger cut off. It's just crazy.
Oh dear. Oh no.
It's like imagine if you took
Dragon. I'm sure knowing you, that really didn't sit well.
It didn't sit well, but that's what I'm saying. It was kind of like you took Death of the Family when it gets all about like a dinner table scene, and then you take that and you mix it with a drinking game. It's really scary. Anyway, seriously, check that game out if people haven't, because thankfully Telltale has been revived, and we're going to get more of it, so that's even better. Okay.
Dragon, I'm waiting for it to come on Twitch, man.
Well, now it might actually happen, so we'll see.
I know.
Wait a
I'm
minute,
my fingers.
They put out the black and white version, so maybe you should check for it. I think they might have. I assume it includes it.
Okay.
I assume they have an option.
$60 for it. Does the black and white version include the first one as
That's
well?
What I'm saying. It includes both of them.
Well, I already paid full price for the first one, so I don't know. I might have to get the second one on a budget if I can.
It would give you an Okay, let's not go over it here. Let's just. Anyway, getting back on point. So the question is: never have I ever owned a hair salon, and of course, so basically they're using all the knowledge that they have on the Piper Hinson character here, and she drinks, and of course, go get her even more.
Fair, you guys.
Oh no! Here's a great line that really sings on the rewatch. Here it says, "Oh, dirty David." Dirty David. It's a little light foreshadow. It is a little light foreshadow, but I really,
tiny tease.
I really love about this too. I love that we're painting a picture of the life of this character within this drinking game. We're getting these little snippets of details. Is okay, So minus a name, I'll still point that out. Again, we don't know what our female characters in this piece's names are, which kind of bugs me. That's because we have David, we have Chad, and of course we don't have it in the credits. It always kind of bothers me. We're in the note-taking process, but it's just me. Point is, like, we learn details about, so she works at a salon. We learn where she went to school. We see she's in a relationship, et cetera, et cetera. So these little life details are kind of nice.
Mm-hmm.
So Mal.
Yeah. Mal Smith. She asks, she says, "Never have I ever went to Texas State," and Chad and unnamed Piper Hinson character both take a drink. Untitled Piper Hinson Project.
Oh God. Little BoJack reference for the kids.
Yeah, anyway, I'm stoked for season 6.
Yeah, it's next week, isn't it?
Yeah, sometime
next week. Anyway, no, a little fun fact, little Easter egg, I assume. I think the state of Texas, the universe, went to Texas State. That's a little nod to Joshua Thomas's San Antonio.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Gotta be a little like, if you know this, Joshua Thomas, San Antonio boy, Anyway,
Oh
so
God, Dragon. Now I'm thinking that would be a good clip to include in our biopic, just as like a random montage of sketches. It's like, oh yeah, we know they went to San Antonio State. They're doing or I'm sorry, like Texas State or wherever. They're doing they're doing pulls from their real life. Isn't that neat, folks? Callbacks in the narrative structure of our biopic, anyways.
we joke now, but again, after those 10
Oh, we
episodes,
joke now.
folks, I can promise you this much. I'm not going to say immediately after, but after we get through those 10, biopic time at some point.
I feel like the people at JGI treat the biopic as more of a threat than a promise.
It's like, I'll be around crediting. I'm going to make that Venom movie, and it made a lot of money, and now we're getting a sequel this year. So we'll see where it goes. Right. Anyway, so of course,
and then we'll make a second biopic focused exclusively on Harley Quinn and the Joker versus the real world.
Don't tempt me with that. Don't tempt me.
Oh God.
Anyway, no, in all seriousness, actually, there was actually a reference made. JGI actually they made a posting today that recently, speaking of the show You on Netflix, which I haven't watched yet. Which now I think I have to because they said there's some similarities to Harley Quinn and the Joker versus the real world.
Really?
Yes, obviously not like there's literally no Joker and Harley Quinn. Some people said the people are theorizing.
No, Dragon. I thought that Joker and Harley Quinn literally like pop up in You.
No, but seriously, imagine how crazy that would be though if on the sly it was like the whole time was secretly an origin for like a Joker.
Oh my God.
That's what I'm saying. And basically some people are theorizing there might it's like a fun fan theory. It's not really the point being they've advertised Udemy, and I've already been thinking about checking out Udemy. I'm eventually going to have to because of this now. It's like, okay, well, now I'm sold. I got to check it out. Anyway. Okay, so point being, again, Schlockered Piper here. She's saying, not fair, Chad. Just told you I went there. So, of course, a little detail. I love the fact they both drink, which implies, okay, they probably met each other at Texas State, which is kind of nice. Little detail on the sly. Chad and she drink, and then Chad says, yeah, you guys are big fat cheaters. And then Mal Smith, I love Mal Smith's delivery here.
Oh boy, big fat cheaters, Dragon.
Yeah, more foreshadow, really nice. And I love Mal
That's
Smith.
what I'm saying, man. This sketch is like 2 minutes long, but it uses every second of its screen time to its benefit to set up the gag.
Absolutely. I love Mal Smith's delivery. And it's not cheating, Chad. I never went there. I never went there. That's funny. All right, so then let's see. Chad here. He says, "Okay, I guess this is gonna sound so ridiculous, but just so I can linger on for some moment." So Chad says, "Okay, I guess that's right. I don't know. I like the swagger Pharaoh's bringing to this. I don't know why. There's just something like I kind of dig the swagger on this guy. Okay, I guess that's right."
I hear you.
There's something kind of fun about it. Like, okay, I don't know. Again, builds the likability on Chad, which again, when things don't go Chad's way by the end of the sketch, I feel sympathy towards.
Right.
All right. So then, like I said, now Chad thinks, okay, I'm going to try to work this to my match. I'm going to get her to drink, and she does drink, but she's not the only one. So the question is,
no. If you look, one of my favorite details is that she goes for the drink, but she never actually takes the drink.
Well, something distracts her. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
what's the question?
Oh boy. So, never have I ever had sex with David. And then, David's, I don't know, like David's kind of laughing like, oh boy, that's a ridiculous question. Of course, you've never had sex with me. But in the back of his mind, he's like, ooh, I hope that girl's not too wasted. And that girl is too wasted, Dragon.
Oh,
I love how we see the shot happen off screen. That to me is the cherry on top.
The framing is
like Piper, like drunken Piper Hinson is just like, oh darn it!
So just
and then
punch.
We see Mal Smith. We see the close up on Mal Smith, and I love this performance where, like I said, she's reaching for the drink. And then she just stops dead in her tracks as soon as she hears Piper Hinson say, damn it.
Okay, so the punchline and the subversion is just again, the JGI stamp here, a little subversion where you think the sketch is going to keep going in the drinking direction, but then we kind of like pump the brakes. We're like, okay, punchline when you didn't expect, like, oh god, and everything screeches to an awesome crawl. And the reveal shot is just perfect with the finger going down with that off-screen bit. And here's the bit that kills me, man. This is the bit I really love. I love Sagar's reaction, man. Sagar again just doing what he's doing, man. Sagar as the glue yet again. Sagar, he basically helps facilitate the punchline. He adds a little extra oomph to the punchline. It's already pretty strong. He just kind of makes it sing over the hill, one could say. Where you know, kind of like Pacha style, man. Like when the sun hits those hills, you know, it makes them sing. Anyway, so
makes them sing.
Yep, they just sing. Anyway, so Sagar's reaction, his eyes go big, and just the realization of, oh god. There's the cat's out of the bag. She slept with David, and then there's just this deafening, hilarious silence. They're all just she's blissfully happy and unaware of what she says. She's doing a little party dance with her hand. This is what I'm talking about the body language.
I love how realistic of a slip up this is, Dragon.
It is,
because as we already said, like, of course, let's talk about setup and payoff, Dragon, and subversion. Because of course the setup is going to be, you know, that Piper is already more drunk than the other people. The payoff we expect is going to be, you know, that she's going to like get way too drunk or throw up or, you know, pass out or something like that, you know. And the subversion is that in her drunken state, she just pulls the rug out from everyone and makes it all too real. So I don't know, man. I just like, this sketch honestly brings me back to Pretty Flowers, man. I feel kind of like a whole, like, I know we're not quite done with all the JGI sketches. We've got 9 more classic ones to go after this, but this really does kind of like feel like a full circle exploration of JGI, especially since this is the oldest sketch that we haven't yet covered. So yeah, I mean, I can kind of roll that into my final thoughts practically, Dragon.
Well, something I want to highlight too is as she's like
go ahead
party dance. Mal Smith, this is what kills me, man. This is just brilliant. So Mal Smith, honestly, each of them, I love how each of them have kind of a final bit in the revelation. So in the revelation, again, Sagar has like the wide-eyed, like, oh my god, I'm so screwed right now. And then we have Mal's bit here. Mal is just, she's playing it dramatically. You see her devastated. You can see her kind of slowly break down. If you really look at it, you can see her like tearing up, and it's like, oh my god, look at this.
Her performance was definitely the one that I went to on the rewatch that I really studied. Yeah, I hear you.
So Piper gets a laugh, and then she basically, as she's laughing, she's like, oh, where she's trying to. I think she somewhat gets it, but she's not getting the ramifications because she basically then tries to cuddle up to Chad, and Chad just gives this motion of, get off of me. You know, just get off me. Don't touch me. You know, just like, I'm so betrayed right now. And anyway, just kind of keeping that with the body language.
Betrayal!
Yes. And anyway, so then, of course, then we have like kind of the happy-go-lucky music playing. And then that's it. So I should do my final thoughts because you kind of worked yours in.
Yeah, I think I pretty much summed up my thoughts on this quite well. So go ahead and do your final thoughts, and we'll get out of here.
So to echo it yet again, I do wonder if Piper Hinson, I'd like to think she had a really good time on this sketch, that it did kind of ferment certain ideas, like the Mad Men sketch, which is another, essentially, it kind of picks up from the end of this almost, where again, it's kind of like, if you did the sketch in reverse, where we start off with kind of the revelation off screen, then we're just kind of finding our way back from it. It's kind of like a reversal of the sketch in a sense.
Right.
But yeah,
it's like Hangover.
Yeah, I love, you know, I think this is... Yeah, I have to absolutely hope that it's like kind of like a loved and early sketch, you know, considering it's also, I have to imagine it's loved as well because it's called back in Remember Mike. Because Remember Mike was a sketch where we have like all the little callbacks to all the other sketches. I think Jackie's called back to. I think we have this called back to. We have a few other, like the really early season 1 JGI stuff. Being referenced in Remember Mike. And again, when we did Remember Mike, I was kicking myself because I realized like, oh man, we've covered all these sketches except Never Have I Ever in that room. So, but the point being, I'm thinking like, I wonder if maybe that was selected, if not because it was so early on, they only had so many sketches to pick from. Maybe it was a well-loved sketch. Maybe that's why it's made its way in there. Anyway, so this is short. This sketch, it's short but funny. It rolls with the abrupt ending perfectly, works it wonderfully to its advantage, and it's just yet again JGI economizing what a short sketch really means, where you only have like up to 3 minutes at the most. but you got to make it. You got to make every second count, and this one does. It's wonderful. All right, so
Right.
announcements.
Announcement. Da, 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 da.
Ladies and gentlemen, after many, many times of waiting, basically, folks, we had to earn this one, man. We've been working our way up to it, man. You know, we've sat down with some of the JGI greats. We've sat down with Mark Sipka. Sipka, darn it. Mr. Joshua Thomas Grand Slam, that guy. We sat down with Mark Sipka. We've sat down with good old KMG, Katie Mary Garland. Where in the world is Katie?
We even got a couple bonus podcasts out of her.
That we did. And so again, really great talking to her too. And it's up to conjecture, but we have sat down with Joshua Thomas. But anyway, the point being, we've sat down with the greats, but not Piper Hinson. Thankfully, folks, going into the year 2020, put it on a bumper sticker. We got Piper Hinson, man. This Sunday.
I interviewed Piper Hinson.
Yeah. This Sunday, assuming everything goes accordingly, we're going to be sitting down with the multi-talented co-founder of JGI herself, and it's going to be a blast. We got a bag full of questions to ask her, so to speak. There's some surprises. There's going to be some good times. We're going to be talking about stuff. If you have any questions about Robostitude, consider them answered, man. I mean, we got, by all means, send some questions in. Send them this way. I mean, unfortunately, I'm fearing the Discord is a little defunct at this point. By all means, send them there. We'll see them. I don't know if anyone else will, but send them either on our Twitter, on this video. We might
honestly, the comment section of this video is probably going to be the most likely place to send them.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to do like a little ad or something, but we probably just this video. Point being, send them on this video. But send them on this video or on the Discord page or on our Twitter. We'll definitely get them. We'll shout you out. We'll read them off to her, or join us live even when we do it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it'll be a blast. We hope to see you there. And again, just any of your Burning Piper questions, look no further, man. We're going to sit down with the living legend herself. All right.
We're going to pay the Piper Dragon.
Her due!
Okay. Take us out.
That does it now until the next very exciting installment of the JGI Grab Bag.
Chad.